Joe Musso, Bryant McFadden, Mac, this is why we do it. This is why they do it. This is high-level football all out in front of us. And this time, like they have before in the regular season, the Buffalo Bills take care of the Kansas City Chiefs. What did this game make you feel? Because it surely made me feel something.
That the Buffalo Bills, when Josh Allen is playing like Superman, he cannot be denied.
Yeah.
In today's matchup, he was the best football player on the field, on the same field that included Pat Mahomes. Over 300 yards of total offense. He was their best rusher, clearly the best quarterback, best playmaker, 2 total touchdowns. And when they needed to make a play, because we've seen this storyline with the Kansas City Chiefs throughout the entire season thus far, gets close in the fourth quarter, the opposing team, they do not make the play they need to make, which gives a window of opportunity for who? Kansas City. 4th and 2, offensive possession for the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott never thought about kicking a field goal. He said, I'm going to put the football in my star player's hand, and he is going to get us home. Josh was like, forget converting the first down. I'll do you one better. I will score with my legs. That was it. And those are the defining plays that you need your 5-star players to make when you're playing against a 5-star player in Pat Mahomes. Because we talked about giving the Kansas City Chiefs a glimmer of hope. If you do so, they're going to snatch life from your ball club. We've seen it time and time again. But in this matchup, Josh Allen was like, no, I've seen how you guys do other teams.
We're not letting you do it.
We're not going to let you do what you've done to other teams to us. I'm going to take over. But, Joe, that's what your star players are supposed to do, especially when your star player is the star who plays the quarterback position. It's like having Michael Jordan on your team. You need a game-winning shot. No one else is taking a shot.
Not to be denied with the game on the line facing 4th and 2. You saw a multi-read play there. That's a play caller giving his quarterback, who he believes in wholeheartedly, a chance to win a football game. What did you make of that? Not the call on 4th and 2, but the play call on 4th and 2. The look one way, the option the other, and then always the value add with Josh Allen using his legs.
I think that was all on Josh. It was a passing play when you look at the route concept, attacking the sticks, nothing extremely aggressive, but everything was covered up. But Josh was like, I'm not going to sit here and be patient when I know Stone Cold Jones, Chris Jones, is trying to collapse the pocket. That's just Josh Allen becoming a playmaker, hitting the playmaker button and saying, you know what, instead of me just sitting in the pocket waiting for someone to create separation, I'm going to put the football in my hands and I'm going to make a play for my team.
The low-hanging fruit here for the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, they are flawed in some ways, but 9-0 is 9-0. The low-hanging fruit is you got this one out of the way. You take the loss, the weight of undefeated no longer on their shoulders. Is that a real thing? You've played on teams on streaks. Is that weight a real thing?
It is. It's a lot of pressure because the thing about the Kansas City Chiefs, the entire season being 9-0 with everything they've been hit with adverse-wise with injuries, it's remarkable for them to be 9-0. But it's tough. It's draining because you're playing every opposing team their best effort because you're the Super Bowl champions. You have an opportunity to three-peat, something we've never seen done before in the Super Bowl era. So every game for you is a Super Bowl for the said team that's playing against you. And they put forth their best effort. They prepare better than any other team because of your success. So for Kansas City, no question, I think they want to win every ball game, but it becomes tiresome when everyone is talking about trying to go undefeated. So getting this out of the way.
You don't want to lose to this team, however.
You don't. If you want to have a loss, you'd rather it be to an NFC team than a team that you potentially could see in the playoffs, but you don't control that. But now for Kansas City, it's about getting back to the drawing board, getting healthier. Hopefully you get Isaiah Pacheco back, which would be a plus, and just going back and finding a way to fine-tune some things that you need to fine-tune because 2 weeks in a row, you straddled with defeat. You lost today. You could have lost last week. So 2 weeks in a row, you didn't put forth your best effort. You were lucky enough to win last week against the Denver Broncos. You were not lucky enough to win against the Buffalo Bills today.
What does this win for the Buffalo Bills do for their confidence moving forward? Because we've seen this movie before. Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. Josh Allen's season comes to a close at the hand of Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. How do you use this? Maybe not specifically for that matchup, however lucky we might be to get it in the playoffs. But moving forward this season, what does this do for the Buffalo Bills?
I think for Buffalo, you don't want to look too far ahead. You want to control what you can control right now, which is using this victory to jumpstart a quality streak of games to close out the regular season. Because one thing about this matchup, it means something But of course, this is a team you potentially could see again if you're trying to get to New Orleans. Heck, we saw this same story a year ago, Joe. Remember, in early December, I think it was, when Buffalo was trying to figure things out, they went to Kansas City, came out with a 3-point win. And then, of course, they faced each other again in Buffalo. Playoffs, everything on the line. Guess who won that ball game? Kansas City. So for me, I think it's imperative for them to not focus too far ahead. Worry about what you can control, which is continue to play lights out and get the best possible seed that you can get to be in the tournament, because this is a playoff caliber team.
And if you could make it come through Highmark.
Yeah, well, Kansas City went through Highmark last year.
And they went through the bank. And they went through Las Vegas. So, yes, it implies nothing come postseason.
It feels good, but of course, you know what the bigger picture is.
The exact point I wanted you to make there. And to your point, the plate ahead is a full one for the Buffalo Bills. The Niners, who don't look themselves right now, the Rams and the Lions to follow that. A lot of high-level football coming for these Buffalo Bills, but you tuck this one in the win column, and you can only feel good about yourself. We're going to get you guys out to the site here in just a bit. A final thought here from Bryant McFadden as we take a look at these numbers. 250-plus passing yards, 50-plus rushing yards, and a passing touchdown in a game. Josh Allen was everything for this team.
Yes, he was.
Once again, Bryant McFadden. I feel like we've had 3 separate MVP conversations throughout this day. How do you feel about Josh Allen and his chance to maybe claim that award for himself en route to what he wants, that ultimate team victory?
I feel good about Josh Allen because the thing about Josh Allen, we know how prolific his arm is, but he can give you production running the football. And I think when you talk about the MVP, for me, you have to be able to not necessarily be a dual threat quarterback, but be a quarterback that can give you a production as a dual guy when need be. Because that rush was unbelievable. I mean, you look at the quarterbacks in the National Football League, only maybe Lamar Jackson can give you that type of production running the football, scoring for 40 yards out on a 4th down situation. So Josh Allen's name is in it. I think right now it's a great race when you look at Lamar Jackson, when you look at Josh Allen, you look at Jared Goff, when you look at Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. You got outstanding players on the offensive end that can make a strong, legit case in terms of the MVP. And Josh Allen did so. This was almost like, you know, in college football, you have a Heisman moment when everything is on the table on a national stage. That was your Heisman moment. That's your Heisman moment. Well, I believe there's an MVP type moment in the National Football League as well.
Yeah.
And I would be okay in saying this was Josh Allen MVP moment because of what he needed to do and the team he was playing against, along with the quarterback he was playing against.
It is the greatest quarterback head-to-head that we have in the game right now. And they add another chapter. Yes. Surprisingly, this one separated by more points than usual, with the head-to-head now an even 4-aside, with Mahomes and Allen doing battle once again. But as we said, and as we know, during the regular season, Josh Allen does have the edge over Patrick Mahomes. It's all about what happens come postseason time. There's only one way to find that out, and that is to get there and hopefully see these two on the same field once again. Next-gen stats giving Josh Allen a 1% chance to score a touchdown when he tucked that football. They must 1%. Not know. They must not know that Josh Allen.
No.
He comes up big, and as you said, he takes this game when it was offered to him.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
Amazing performance. I can't help but think of our Super Bowl matchup a year ago in Las Vegas. The 49ers and the Chiefs, both looking more human than they did a year ago. Your worry level, and I know it's a weird question to ask at 9-1, but how worried are you about the inefficiencies of the Kansas City Chiefs? Played another solid football game today. I think Patrick Mahomes can be thrilled with that line, a late INT that doesn't make you feel good, an early one as well. But this Chiefs team, what do they need to polish between now and that ultimate race for number 3?
Get healthy. I think get healthy. For a team to be undefeated coming in today's matchup, not having your wide receiver 1, your wide receiver 2, your RB1, and still be flawless, it tells you how good this team is. They played against a team that this was like the Bills' championship because of what was at stake in the team they were playing against, and they barely lost. So it was a close game. So for me, it's about getting healthy. And if they can get healthy, we know that they have the dudes that can get it done, especially with the quarterback and the head coach, Andy Reid.
Bryant McFadden offering his thoughts here on another classic between Mahomes and Allen, the Bills and the Chiefs. We'd be so lucky to see it again. Our CBS Game of the Week is one that holds history. A 15-game winning streak stopped dead at Highmark with the Chiefs now 9-1, and the Bills alive in that race for the 1 seed. For more, we take you back out to the stadium where our lead analyst of the NFL on CBS, Tony Romo, joins us. Now, Tony, this is one of those games that you don't have to be a fan of either team to really feel something. Josh Allen makes that play, runs across the goal line, crowd goes nuts. You feel what in that moment?
Oh, you felt the electricity in the air. I mean, for Josh Allen, it's just pure joy. I mean, these are the games that these guys live for. And regardless of what he says, a Week 11 game, I mean, people are going to remember every one of these games, and they've always lived up to the expectations. And just watching it and being a part of it, I think we're all pretty fortunate.
Is there a way for the Bills to use this if they do inevitably clash once again in the postseason? Because we've seen them take care of business in this matchup regular season before. Does this feel different, and how do they make it different if they do get that opportunity?
Well, you make it different by getting the 1 seed, by having the game come here. I mean, there's a lot that goes into everything, but I can promise you from a quarterback's perspective, it's way more difficult to be on the same page, to communicate, to change the play, change the protection when you're on the road. In the environments, whether you come to Buffalo or you go to KC, I mean, it's really hard to have the full grasp of the whole system at your disposal on that game day. And when you're at home, you get all of it. The other guy doesn't. So to me, you're seeing the first signs of possibly making it harder on the Chiefs. Now, there's a long way to go, but you got to prove to yourself that you can beat the champs, that you can do this every year. It's not just because we did it before. Your team's different, and now you believe you can do it. And, you know, there's a chance that they might actually be able to do it this year because they have a lot of things going for them.
2 months removed from questions of if the window was closed. That thing is wide open, and Josh Allen running through it on this day to a game-winning touchdown. Yeah. Tony, on the other side of this one, Kansas City, going to be a stalwart once again. 9-1. We talk often about the weight of undefeated. This isn't the team you want to lose to, but is there something to that? You've been on great teams and amazing locker rooms. The weight of carrying that, having that off their shoulders, is there somewhat a value add in that sense today?
It's a great question. I feel like there's positives and negatives. I think going undefeated brings you to be at your best every week. I mean, being on edge is a good thing sometimes. Being on edge all season sometimes is a little bit more difficult to maintain. But the positive of them losing now is they didn't wrap up the 1 seed. Like, if they win today, Pittsburgh has to win out, basically. Otherwise, nobody's really in contention to be even in the mix, and that's not likely to happen. So, to me, Kansas City now is going to have to get up for each game. And I always felt like the worst thing is to wrap everything up with 3 games to go. And just very few teams have the ability to do that and be at their best in the playoffs. You can get knocked off. So that could be the benefit for Kansas City. But other than that, you know, I feel like the undefeated season would have kept you there too. But then if all of a sudden you lose in week 12 or 13 and you got it wrapped up, well, then that's the worst case scenario to me. So this could be a benefit if you're a Chiefs fan.
The all-important carrot still dangles in front of them, that 1 seed. Will it be the Chiefs? Will it be the Bills?
Yep.
This one went a long way in sorting things out. Tony Romo, we appreciate you, as always, stopping by here on HQ.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
What a game. Game of the week, matchup of the year, great quarterbacks, high-level execution, all the hallmarks at Highmark. Best 11-game start in Bills history. This is the 4th best, following those 3 from 64, ranging there to 1991, 10-1 seasons across the board, 9-2 here, and bringing to an end a 15-game winning streak Sunday at home.